Yo, what's going on, Sandbox fans? We appreciate you coming back and tapping in again with us. Lock in on this app as we talk about what you should expect for the Super Bowl. But first, check out what else we got going on.
It is about that time, Sandbox fans. We are live on Twitch, and we are streaming games for you, whether it's Madden, 2K. You know we're here for the sports, and we know we're here for the competition. Check us out on Twitch at Big and Bigger Scant, or in link in the description below. Again, that's Big and Bigger Scant, or link in the description below. Follow us so you get the notifications to when we are going, because it is here.
So here's the thing, Big Scant. I get it. This is not the Super Bowl we wanted. This is not the Super Bowl we wanted for many reasons. But it's a Super Bowl we got. And you know, even given that this isn't the one we wanted, I still think it could be a good game. So we got to talk about it. Who is going to win this game, Big Scant?
First and foremost, to those who listen to my betting tips that the Ravens would be in the Super Bowl, I am not sorry, because everybody thought about the Ravens being in the Super Bowl based on the color of the logo and so on and so forth.
All that.
When it comes to that jargon, a lot of it was almost believable. So you know what? I thought about it too. And guess what? I put down the same amount of money that you guys probably did and asked out. So let's start there. Ravens weren't in the Super Bowl. Bada bing, bada boom.
Boom.
But I am going to play the hater role today.
Yes.
We talked about this young man being a GOAT, and he is no more older than Christopher Big Scantleberry on this phone here. No more older than him when I've had to deal with the man 20 years in a division thinking that this man was a make-believe player.
Yeah, for real.
So you know what I'm going to do for all the Swifties and all of Kermit the Frog's guys? I'm smoking on that pack of Pat Mahomes this week. What Dad says. Big shout out to Pat Mahomes Sr. When the game ended against Baltimore, he was smoking on that Ravens pack.
Yep.
I say C-Mac and the 49ers are going to be smoking on that big Travis Swiftly Pat Mahomes pack this weekend. And I'm going 49ers. Better yet, I'm going 49ers 24-17.
That's reasonable.
What's up?
That's reasonable.
Yeah. You know what I think? I honestly think it's going to be a defensive battle at first. I think one of the best things that we have seen come out of the 49ers, or players I should say come out of the 49ers, is Fred Warner. And I also don't think that Travis Kelce has dealt with a linebacker that is essentially a cornerback / safety.
Yeah.
But a little bigger, that's in Fred Warner. I say if they scheme it up well enough, San Fran has a good secondary. Their linebacker group is pretty good. And their front four is pretty good. You know, this is the team, I compare this team not in terms of personnel, but built to win. This is the team that I've seen the closest that I've seen to the LA Rams when they won the last Super Bowl, that was just built to win. Like, they are set in every position, because every positional value, they have a guy that, you know, that's up to par. So although the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs has been playing lights out, I'm going San Fran.
Yeah, man. Truthfully, like, when you look at the two rosters, you look at how they're constructed. You see star on star on star. You would swear you're in Hollywood when you look at the San Francisco roster. And, like, realistically, like, what are the Chiefs gonna do? Like, passing the ball, like, against San Fran? They're gonna win, bro. They're gonna win the game.
You know, I knew you was gonna say that.
I'll tell you why.
All right.
Take a second. Look back at this whole playoffs, all things considered. You look at the San Francisco roster, especially defensively. You got your Fred Warners, you got your Joey Bosa's, you got your Chase Youngs, you got your Javon Hargraves, you got your Deommodore Lenore's. I know they lost Hufanga earlier on, but you got some solid players. But, bro, their average defensive games in these playoffs, they've given up 24, 25 points each time. Yet, you look at this Chiefs team, and yes, outside of Chris Jones and who's the guy there? It's not Trevor.
Could I really quick, because there's a name that I let you go ahead and spit out the San Fran defense. I'm not a San Fran fan. Let's just say this. I am a New York Jets fan. But there's a big name, a big puzzle piece that you have missed.
Nick Bosa?
No, of course not. I mean, if you miss Nick Bosa, that's where the defense starts.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to want to start with, or we are going to want to remember a Super Bowl winning cornerback for the Kansas City Chiefs that took his talents over to San Fran and Tre'Davious Ward.
Meanwhile, L'Jarius Sneed has played better.
That's but we're not talking about the personality. We're not talking about the play, the production itself. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about schematics, because from when he won a Super Bowl in Kansas City to now, there hasn't been much adjustments when it came to the Kansas City Chiefs defensive play or offensive play, if that, outside of the addition of Mr. Sneed, who he's playing like a top 5 corner right now. So I can't.
Yes, but you take it for what you want it. They played the Dolphins. The Dolphins scored a touchdown, maybe, if I remember that correctly. Then you go and you play Buffalo, and you held Buffalo. Like, you stunned Buffalo. Obviously, Josh Allen did Josh Allen.
But listen, not to cut you off.
Okay.
This is not the ideal of how much points they gave up. This is schematics we're talking about now. Ward didn't play for Buffalo. He didn't play for Miami. He has practiced against Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce 17 to 18 weeks out of the year, maybe even more, during the offseason, to where this could be a puzzle piece. And hey, mark my words, actually, because you're looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. Mark my words. He is going to be the difference maker in this Super Bowl. It might be a late game pick. It might be a deflection that might have resulted in a first down, and a passing interference wasn't called, because I'm sure these refs are going to be in favor of the Swiftleys and the Kermit Mahomes. But I'm going to say this: if you're looking for a difference maker in this game, look in the secondary of a San Fran, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. Now, you say that Charvarius Ward practiced against Pat Mahomes for as long as you did. What was Pat Mahomes doing? I'm not even... Look, here's a real kicker. I know we got up here and we was talking about how it's crazy how many people want to crown this young man so soon. But I do still think Pat is the closest thing to the next Brady, and you don't bet against Brady in the same way you don't bet against Mahomes.
Even if Pat Mahomes is an anomaly, what do we say about football? If it ain't the team,
it's the scheme.
Exactly. So the player or personnel might not matter as much as them understanding what the Chiefs is going to throw at them. And
so tell me right now.
What's that?
So tell me right now. In a bowl, whose scheme you want? Andy Reid? Kyle Shanahan?
Yo, as much as you think that that's an easy answer, it's not. With all due respect to Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan has been just as much as the top coach in the NFL over this past 5-6 years as Andy Reid has. They've been, without question, the top 2 coaches in the league.
So what happened when they go against each other?
All right, but we're talking about a Super Bowl that happened a few years ago. Let's just see what the Super Bowl has in store for us. It wasn't Kyle Shanahan's offense that provided a damn comeback to the Patriots and Tom Brady. His offense, they slowed up in the second half. I would say that, but it wasn't his offense that was allowing touchdowns. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It looked very, very difficult for Andy Reid to get anything going in that Ravens game last week in the second half. They were going 3 and out the entire second half.
Who defense you want more, Ravens or the Niners?
The Niners defense.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. What do we mean? We are now giving the Chiefs credit to their defense, and it's because of the assets that they brought. There's some young guys on that team. George Karlaftis had a great year. Snead had a great year. Chris Jones, great year.
You're telling me right now.
Who else are we going to mention? Chanel? The kid is a rookie. The linebacker Chanel. Who else are we going to mention on that McDuffie?
You just got done telling me it's the scheme, brother. Spags has been pitching shutouts this whole postseason. And
Spags has been there when this defense wasn't good last year and the year before that. So, I mean, they played a little better. They drafted well on that defense, and the guys are coming along. But they're not a better. If you are about to sit here and tell me that the Kansas City Chiefs has a better defense than the 49ers, then we can just wait for the game, because I don't know where the hell you can come off saying that.
I guess we're waiting for the game.
With any validity.
Look, I guess we're waiting for the game, because here's the real dealio. The Niners have a lot of names on that defense, but they haven't gotten it done recently. They haven't gotten it. Tell me, since they got Chase Young, what's he done? Tell me, this year.
Chase Young came off an ACL tear.
What?
He did.
That's okay. Okay, so he's never going to come back to form. Why you trade a second rounder for them? They obviously thought he gets a lot of playing time.
Because he's Chase Young.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the Chase Young is the garbage. But we'll get back to that. Yeah. Fred Warner is Fred Warner. Nick Bosa is Nick Bosa. Tell me another player on that defense that you would definitively take over the Chiefs defense right now.
I mean, that's not a fair question, because in some cases, if you're looking at who has a better what, then yeah. But I think the Chiefs secondary carries more depth. No, the 49ers secondary carries more depth than the Chiefs secondary would. Could we name 3 people in that Chiefs secondary that's unequivocally better than the 49ers defense secondary?
I would take Trent McDuffie over any of the corners that the 49ers currently have.
That's not a bad take, but let's talk about the amount of secondary players that they have. Let's talk about it. They got the safety out of USC. They got Lanier. They got Tre'Davious Ward.
That stands out.
Home safety.
I think Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward plays for the Texans now. I can't recall, but
because he's not recallable.
When it comes, what's up?
Because he's not worth noting. But keep going.
Yeah, well, I mean, but when it comes to depth in that secondary, I would honestly say that the Chiefs has 2 guys in that secondary that's worth talking about. One of which might be better than all. But it's the youth movement. Like I said, Spags didn't have this. McDuffie went top 15 2 years ago, or top 20, or wherever he fell 2 years ago. You would expect this out of this team after picking these guys.
What's crazy is,
but Spags was the guy a few years back when their defense was shitty.
Well, what's crazy is, we ain't even gotten into the Brock Purdy versus Mahomes talk just yet, and we are, and obviously Brock ain't going directly against Mahomes, right? But they played last year, and Mahomes beat them like they stole something, bruh. And people, I know what the conversation is going to be. Oh, McCaffrey. Oh, Bebo. Brother, we played y'all. And you got washed. And I'm not even saying that it's not totally a different team. I think that team is completely different, especially with McCaffrey being in that system for a bit of time. And shout out the fact that McCaffrey can play this game. But bro, like I could care less the pieces that the 49ers have on offense, because they don't have the piece. And they don't got a platinum artist running routes at tight end.
That's what I'm saying.
The players are gonna play.
That's a feat that I cannot really, combat. That Swifty and her marketability is just insane. So when it comes to who the NFL might want to win, great, but create some sort of spoiler. Like, allow for these teams to actually play, and don't sway decisions based on Taylor Swift's presence, because she's not going to be the only superstar there. Now let's talk about who might want San Fran to win out of superstars. Are they any bigger than Taylor Swift? We've seen Jay-Z and Beyonce at the Super Bowl before. What's going to happen? Who is rooting for San Fran? I know enough just based on the legacy of that team.
Yeah.
Is SZA wants some. SZA, are you a 49ers fan? I hope not. I hope you're a Jets fan.
No.
But there has to be some peace. Some piece as good as the corny asada out of California that can wipe the fucking Swifties out of. I'm sorry, they're playing in Vegas. There has to be a piece as good as that fucking Usher show that's been happening all year. Bring Usher out.
Usher's gonna let it burn.
Fan. They love him in Vegas. Bring Usher out, man.
Well, let me ask you this: first touchdown scored, so we give these people some prop bets.
First touchdown will be scored by Isaiah Pacheco.
Ah, interesting.
First touchdown scored by Isaiah Pacheco. Chiefs score on their first drive, but have difficulty throughout.
MVP
of the game, Brock Purdy.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine a brother that's getting paid $800,000 a year to star for a Super Bowl team, bro?
The crazy thing about it is that I was not a Brock Purdy guy until I started actually looking at this guy's film, wanting for him to be Pat Mahomes.
I love the way he plays.
Brock Purdy, he won that. Detroit lost the game, but Brock Purdy was the reason why San Fran won the game.
Bro, Brock was doing everything I was begging for Lamar to do.
What I would say is game manager isn't the word, but Brock Purdy is probably one of the, in terms of young quarterbacks, or just let's talk about quarterbacks drafted in the past decade. Brock is the least indecisive, and he doesn't struggle when it comes to decision making. Yeah. I would even say this has nothing to do with talent at all, but I would even say he's a better decision maker than the likes of Josh Allen.
Decision making.
I'm not talking about play or anything like that, but like, what do we equate to a game manager? Is Brock Purdy a game manager? No, he is very decisive, and his decisions are conducive for what that offense needs. If he has to spin around 2 times to get out of a tackle and just to throw it on a 5-yard out route to get that team 5 yards, Brock Purdy's gonna make that play.
Here's what Merck's made.
What's up?
Here's what Merck's made is that when people talk about game managers, and here's the thing with Cam Newton that I enjoyed that he said, people hear game manager and instantly think that means you're bad. I would take a game manager in New England yesterday, 100%. Bro.
I wanted one all year in New York.
I need you to get my guys the ball. That's all I need you to do. Make some plays, but I need you to get my guys the ball. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to do that on Sunday, but we're going to get to that later.
I can't imagine anything stopping him from being a poised quarterback as he has been for the most part. I would say that, it took them a while to kind of, come along this playoffs, but they played like San Fran did. The one thing that they can't do is play catch up super late.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs start out with a bang, really good first half, but I think San Fran kind of picks up the pieces in the second quarter leading into the second half of the game. And I got Brock Purdy as my MVP, man.
Y'all heard it here first. You got Pacheco, his first touchdown scorer. Brock Purdy's MVP. Give me one more prop bet. One that sticks out to you, biggest scan. Hit him with it.
One more prop bet. Go the over, 6.5.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's going to be a lot of points. It's going to be a lot of points in this thing.
Well, we'll see. But I do think that as much as we'd like to think it's going to be a defensive battle, I think it's going to be high-powered offense. I think guys like Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuels won't disappoint. I think Mr. Scantley, he just comes aboard. He just pops up, at random, but he makes game-winning plays that we've seen. And I want to see Pacheco do a jersey dance in the end zone, man. I want to see
Respect.
Shout out to Pacheco, man.
Right. Y'all heard it here first, Sandbox listeners. We gonna crown the Chiefs on Sunday, whether we like it or not. But I appreciate Bigger Scan bringing his insight.
Yes, sir, man. It's your boy Maul, aka Bigger Scan here again. Go San Fran. Go San Fran. If you don't want to go with what I'm telling you to bet, don't, because clearly I was wrong last week. But what I'm telling you is surefire San Fran winning the Super Bowl, man.
Yes, sir. As Bigger Scan would say, show me that money. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all tapping in for another week. We love you guys. Hope it's
I love y'all, man. We out.
Boom. Thank you all so much for tapping into another week of the Sandbox Sports Podcast, where we hope to bring you the hottest live news and the hottest takes. If you liked what you watched, or even if you didn't, just please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It'll help us out greatly, and it'll bring this news to other people. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, and even comment on what you'd like to hear next.